House. The Boylesports Derby quarter-finals. Timberhouse heads the market at 4-5, 3-1 Kyle Bruce, 5-1 Portan all in. He's a drifter in the market this morning, and Blades of Hope 6-1. It's 10-1 bar. Timberhouse definitely the one they're on today. So in the red we have Blades of Hope. In the white, Game Mikey, red eager to get underway. That's Blades of Hope. Martin Murphy about, tease him out. And away they go on the far side. Game Mikey shows in front half a link. Blades of Glory now hits the button and quickly moves to the front within strides. He's a link clear at this stage, beginning to open up a bit of a gap now. Blades of Hope, Game Mikey battling in there, being behind, but now as he goes up now, Game Mikey makes his move as they move up the opening turn. Blades of Hope still in front by about a half a length as they close in on the opening turn. Well, Blades of Hope showed a terrific turn of early foot, and he held the challenge of Game Mikey at bay, even though he did come there on top of the field. Blades of Hope are almost ready to go. In the red, Portan all in the white, Kyle Bruce, away they go for pretty level start, but now on the far side Kyle Bruce opens up a linked advantage very early on. That could prove the size from top of the field. Now Portan all in makes his move on the near side as they head up to the halfway point. There's on stride for stride at this stage, possibly the advantage on the far side with Kyle Bruce as they move in the open turn. Portan is rallying hard here on the near side, and Portan, well, Kyle Bruce was in control at the halfway point, but he just couldn't shake off the shadow of Portan all in. And on the top of the field, Portan all in made his bid for victory. Well, a terrific course, Damien.
A typical new win all in, Portan all in. He did know when he was beat. They don't like getting beaten, these dogs. Kyle Bruce looked to have it sewn up, but Portan all in, with every stride, was closing on him. I thought he'd lead early on, but tis later on in the course he only took it up. He's a real good dog, this Portan all in. He's still a big player in this derby.
So in the red collar we have Feel My Pulse, Carol Keel Gavin in the white, and away they go, possibly on the near side now. Feel My Pulse is a half-linked advantage through the opening exchanges as they hit the rising ground now. The gap is beginning to widen here. There's 2 links in it at this stage. Carol Keel Gavin battling desperately to get back into contention, but Feel My Pulse is working up ahead of steam on the far side as they move in on the opening turn now. Carol Keel is coming in, real push on top of the field, and was Feel My Pulse well offline there, Damien, on the far side. He looked to drift right over to the far side, but he just done enough. It'll be an interesting one to look back on. Feel My Pulse. Well, Damien, I'll let you take it up from here.
That's a very interesting course. They seem to cross over sides there. The red collar did definitely lose sight of it. They raced very wide apart. Carol Keel was always on line of the hare. We see the red collar there going over the ridge. You can see him sort of looking around. He did catch it in the end. Very tough one to call.
Well, we expected a tight one. Trained of course by Michael O'Donovan, winner by de facto Withdrawn this morning, the Jerry Holian trained runner. So Timberhouse, the long odds favourite, and a worthy favourite, very impressive through the opening 3 rounds, and he's quickly into his stride here in the bike course. A fine striding dog, this son of Thomas the Tank and Ladies Twinkle Toes. He's really lit up this season's Boylesports Derby as he moves up towards the opening turn. He's looks to be putting in a gut-bursting run here again. The son of Thomas the Tank and Lady Twinkle Toes, owned by Patrick Bowles and Palace Green, getting 1 or 2 turns before the hare runs across the top of the escape, and hopefully now she'll make her way home in the far side. And Timberhouse is going to get a bit of unnecessary work here maybe, and now the hare has gone home. It's just maybe a couple of turns there on top of the field. He's an impressive looking dog, this Timberhouse.
Look at the time.
And he looked like he was bursting his gut, and the clock is showing at 12:13, Damien.
12:13. He's definitely he's the real deal in this derby. He's a dog. You see him there. He takes a wide sweep and turns as well. I think that could help him. He's not going to get too much work. I know he got a few turns there, but he's not one of these dogs who's on the hare twisting and turning. It could work in his favour. I think he's over 90 pound weight, but definitely he can't do anything wrong, this Timberhouse.
So semi-finals of the Boylesports Derby. Timberhouse heads the market at 1-2. Kennel Companion, Portan all in, a 5-2 shot. Blades of Hope 3-1 for Jerry Holian, and Feel My Pulse, trained by Dan Brazel, 6-1. So in the red collar we have Blades of Hope, owned by Tara Guiney and Aaron Jacobson from Rathkeel, out of Kyle James, and Blades of Glory, trained by Jerry Holian. And in the white collar, we have the Patrick Bowles and Joe Blair owned Portan All In, the son of Maffey Magic, and New In All In, trained by Michael Donovan. So in the red, Blades of Hope, and in the white, Portan All In, and it's Portan that shows in front early, and Cleo opens up a link lead. Now Blades of Hope begins to find his stride and comes up onto level terms with the challenge of Portan All In. There's Halfling clear this stage, but now Portan begins to knuckle down on the far side and opens up a lead of a half a length. They move in towards the opening turn. Well, Portan All In was put to the pin of his collar there by Blades of Hope. They're getting a bit of work out in the middle of the field, but he showed in front early, and then Blades of Hope really came into contention at the halfway point and hit the front at one stage, but Portan All In never gave up. He's a massive striding dog, and as they closed in on their bunny, it was Portan All In that gets up by half a length to book a final slot. So in the red we have Feel My Pulse, and in the white, Timber House in the semi-final of the Boylesports Derby. Both dogs eager to get underway, and now they're left on their way by Brian the Island. It's a pretty level start between the pair. We could be in for right buckle here because the red is showing in front. That's Feel My Pulse, and he's pulled the link clear. The favourite will have to reach deep if he's going to get through here, and it's Feel My Pulse. He's a link to the half clear. Now the favourite begins to dig deep as they move up towards the opening turn. He's going to pull it out of the far. Well, Feel My Pulse ran the course of his life out in front. All eyes now on the judge. It's a red collar.
Red collar.
Well, one of the biggest upsets in recent years here at Powerstown Park. Feel My Pulse, the outsider of the quartet at the semi-final stage, Damien. He was looked to be up against it on paper, but my God, he came away from slips lively.
He came away from slips lively. The Timber House did show in front, but unlike Timber House, he didn't show as much pace in the middle of the field as he had been doing. Did switch sides. The red collar did cross over in front of him. Maybe it does cost Timber House that small bit, but Feel My Pulse. He knocked out the favourite in the first round. He's knocked out the favourite in the semi-final. Be no surprise if he goes on to win it. Feel My Pulse, trained by Dan Brazel. We're in for a cracker in this Boylesports Derby final.
So the news coming through that we'll have no final in the Boylesports Derby. Damien, Portan All In took a heavy tumble following that semi-final win over Blades of Hope, and news just coming through that Portan is withdrawn, and we have the winner is Feel My Pulse.
Disappointment for trainer Michael Donovan. Seems to have no luck in these Derby finals.
Owned by,
he'll be back next year, no doubt, but
well, what
well
a day
connection.